Greetings and welcome to Twin Flame
Flame
Lovers.
Lovers.
Today we are going to hit you up from Malaysia with a full moon twin flame energy report for the exciting May 18th, 2019 full flower blood moon. We'll serve you up some hopefully helpful astrology forecasting with twin flame tips and transmissions to get you ready for this somewhat potentially intense full moon, which has influences and energies rising up that might bring out some subconscious blocks and bring you back to the great floods of Atlantis, the fall of Atlantis.
Way back.
Talk about that a little bit later. Oh, and for those of you who are new to our channel, I am Dr. Amanda, and this is my beloved Jack, and we're twin flame alchemists here to help you crack the code on twin flame love so you can stop the struggle and attract all the love you want and deserve.
Don't miss out. Tap the tiny notifications bell, ladies, below with the subscribe button. Don't miss out on our latest videos released weekly to accelerate your twin flame attraction and healing process.
Oh, and hit subscribe if you're ready for soul growth, heart healing, twin flame readings, and twin flame energy updates every single week.
For now, let's take a deep breath. And we'll dive into the twin flame energy update and astrology report in just a sec.
So stay tuned.
So I'm curious, honey, as we get into the general astrology, why is this particular lunation called a blue moon, and why a blue flower moon?
Well, that's a great question. In recent times, the term blue moon has been applied to the second moon within a single calendar month. And that's not really correct. It's not the original meaning of blue moon. The traditional meaning of blue moon, which is now called a seasonal blue moon, is a somewhat rare phenomenon. The original blue moon was described as the third full moon in a season that has 4 full moons. And according to NASA, the only time it happens is every 2.5 years or so, hence the term once in a blue moon.
Reminds me of an ice cold blue moon brew.
Okay.
Though I don't drink anymore.
Well, the May 18th blue moon marks the first full moon of May, which also is known as a flower moon. And this signifies the time when the flowers would bloom during the month in the northern hemisphere. Other names for this May moon is the corn mother's moon, planting moon, and milk moon, because once upon a time, cows were milked 3 times a day. Maybe it's connected to Taurus as well.
Okay, I see. Thanks for explaining that, little mama.
Okay, guys and gaias, the general astrology and energy updates for you twinsies. The full moon is happening at 2:11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Saturday, May 18th. 2019, of course, at 27 degrees in Scorpio, and makes aspects to Mercury, Pluto, and minor planet Sedna. In general, a full moon occurs when the sun is opposite the moon, which brings out the polarized energies and aspects of our lives. Places maybe where we've been unclear about or even in denial about in our lives suddenly become really clear, cannot be hidden, and we have to deal with these things. So while we hate to be the deliverer of bad news, this moon does have some heavy shadow elements. So a little bit of a beware. With Scorpio opposite Mercury, a more masculine, self-centered, and overly heady mindset could interrupt with disharmony and drama. Scorpio Decan 3 signifies drunkenness, fornication, wrath, violence, and strife. According to Henry Cornelius Agrippa, 16th century author of 3 books of occult philosophy.
Sounds a little like Saturnalia.
Yes, exactly. And even more shadowy, the moon in the constellation of Lupus the Wolf makes aggression and bullying major themes for the May full moon. However, the positive aspects to Pluto offer understanding and transcendence through sacrifice and offering.
Perseus constellation implies events caused by major meteorological phenomena that affect large numbers of people, with planet Sedna and the notorious star Algol that is associated with evil and debauchery could potentially bring up loss, negative memories, or even illness, traumatic events, or natural disasters. Not the most rainbowy forecast. However, we'll talk about why this is coming up right now due to the potentially repressed lifetimes of cataclysms that sunk Atlantis. And knowledge is power, so we can make smart choices, listen to our intuition, and tune into the tarot cards when times get tricky. We'll be releasing a tarot card reading live on the full moon, and before this, we'll share our recent crazy tarot story from our own life. Want to tell the story, honey?
Absolutely. But first, real quickly, let me share an epic resource for fully committed twin flame lovers on the path of awakening to their heart's truth. I've recently finished my super valuable packed twin flame signs of reunion cheat sheet for all of you twinsies. It's been years in the making, and I created it so you can have a blueprint cheat sheet to improve your chances of calling in your ultimate soulmate with clarity. And the best thing of all is it is completely free. So download the 22 Twin Flame Signs of Reunion if you haven't already by clicking the link that we'll put in the description box below. And here's for the story. So after focusing on setting up a few new systems and getting shift done in our business here in Malaysia before a baby comes, Jack and I were planning on going on our second baby moon. And for those of you who don't know what a baby moon is, it means you're taking basically your last vacation. We're here in Malaysia and we want to go on a honeymoon holiday at the beach before becoming parents, right? So we book our trip to Gili Air, the most amazing small island near the Bali coast, known for its amazing sunrises and sunsets and friendly locals and, of course, delicious vegetarian and vegan food options. You know, we love to snorkel. We love the clear blue, sparkly water and the sand, and we're so set and psyched. However, after, reservations, we researched into this ominous lunar forecast, and I was kind of getting a little apprehensive because we'd first have to go on a 2-hour boat ride, speedboat through these like big waves in the Indian Ocean, and I'm 19 weeks pregnant, right? So right around the full moon, we have to go through this, and then also, last year, the island was hit by a magnitude 7.0 earthquake, which destroyed like a huge percent, I think 90% of the buildings on the neighboring island of Lombok. So many bungalows on the island itself did fall down. And when we visited in, I guess it was last November, it was pretty shocking to see like this cataclysmic event. So though we're deeply spiritual and we have faith and, we love this island. We see it happening, that it's getting recovered. It was a little unnerving knowing that this sinister star and these planets are aligning right on the full moon in this kind of like intense way over my pregnant belly. So I told Jack about, this strange forecast, and his immediate reaction was, let's postpone, let's reschedule. Because, he's the safety dad and the protector guide of the family. I'm a little bit more spiritual and go with the flow, I would say, or adventurous.
Stubborn.
Sometimes, yeah. And I was like, the odds are so low. Come on, it's probably fine. But just in case, I was like, let me pull a tarot card spread to investigate since, I did feel a twinge of maternal instinct and uneasiness. And so the first two cards that I pulled, they look fine. There's everything normal. And then I asked the last card, is it safe to go to this island on the full moon in Taurus? And I pulled the final card, and it was the Tower card. And according to Biddy Tarot, when the Tower card appears in a tarot reading, expect the unexpected, massive change, upheaval, destruction, and chaos. It may be a divorce, death of a loved one, financial failure, health problems, natural disasters, job loss, or any event that shakes you to the core, affecting your spirituality, mentality, and physicality. There's no escaping it. So, I decided to face that fear and actually just change our path completely. I was like, no thanks, don't need to face natural disaster fears. And I was like, honey, you're right. So it was really relieving. We made, it felt 100% right when we canceled our plans, postponed. But we decided, we want to go. When should we go? So I started pulling cards, what day would work. And, on the 20th, a couple of days after the full moon, we pulled 9 of Pentacles. And, the tarot card says, now you can finally enjoy the fruits of your labor. Just sit back and relax and enjoy the luxuries. So basically, all really good stuff for the good life. Money, leisure, fun, material comfort, and the rest. So we made... we paid a few cancellation fees, which, I kind of don't like to do that, but it's so worth it. My Capricorn had to kind of reckon with that. But these are things we can do to reduce the risk.
So we're going on a baby moon and avoiding the stress.
Exactly.
What measures might you care to take around May 18th, the full moon intensity, to feel safe and relaxed like us? Share in the comments below. Now let's move into the full moon twin flame energy regarding love and relationships.
Woohoo!
Twin flame unions will evolve to a deeper level at this time, or unhealthy relationships will dissolve, and it will be clear to some that it was a twin flame counterfeit union, and that it's time to move on. The full moon opposite Mercury will make it harder to express feelings. You might find yourself in an argument lacking empathy because you've lost your compassion and rationale. You could even find yourself putting the ones you love the most down because you're trapped in black and white thinking. I've been there. Avoid drama by turning away from touchy discussion topics unless you've created a safe container and are fully prepared. If you find yourself in a touchy space, tell your beloved or friend or family member that you'd like to take some deep breaths together and sit down to address your feelings together in a calm way. And if that doesn't work, ask them to discuss this in a few more days when the intensity of the full moon has passed.
Yes.
That's the best thing to do,
Good
I think.
idea.
This is an ideal time to reflect on your relationship. Do healing work around your feelings for this person, and or work with your love coach or mentor to start breaking through the love blocks holding your heart back. The good news is that Mercury trine Pluto has a big healing influence at this full moon. It helps us get in touch with our deeper feelings, even repressed emotions, hidden blind spots that have created tricky love patterns that aren't so fun.
So now is the time to heal those Atlantean past lives, guys and Gaios. The ugly lifetimes, those ones holding residue from the flood, the fires, the devastation that wiped out most of humanity. Randall Carlson, the master builder and architect, designer, teacher, geometrician, I think geomythologist, geological explorer, and renegade scholar. This brilliant guy whose research was the backbone of the acclaimed 1997 CNN documentary Fire from the Sky. So he talks about the fall of Atlantis as a massive catastrophic event. He says the evidence is that the Taurid meteor stream is the debris trail of a giant comet that was thrown onto the inner solar system by gravitational disturbances some 20,000 years ago. And that broke into multiple fragments, some of which hit the Earth 12,800 years ago, with further impacts 11,600 years ago. The result was a huge, sustained global cataclysm known to geologists as the Younger Dryas that was accompanied by worldwide extinction of animal species and suggests that almost complete destruction of an advanced human civilization happened that had flourished during the Ice Age. So we really flattened humanity at that point. What does a cataclysmic event that happened 12,000 years ago have to do with your twin flame union today? Well, everything. On a higher level, there is no time, there is no space. And if we are holding on to a past trauma, a cataclysmic event from our past, well, something hasn't been integrated yet, something that's unhealed. We're stuck in that history, and that timeline needs to, in a sense, be rewritten. Otherwise, we're holding on to old, stuck, repressed pain and baggage. We don't want that to block us from mirroring our true love. There are so many smart, successful spiritual women and men out there who have no idea why they're still seemingly cursed in their love lives. They have everything going for them on paper, and they've done lots of healing work on themselves in this lifetime and even some of their past lives, but they don't seem to be moving forward. They're trapped perhaps in a childhood abuse issue or abandonment wound, or they have still been seeing symptoms of being blocked in their love lives, and they keep on reflecting, why me? Why is this still happening? I'm still single. So if this is you, the first step is to start healing through educating yourself about this Atlantean flood catastrophe. Remember what happened on some level, and we need to come out of amnesia. It's time to undo the brainwashing, the history books and The dumbed down Illuminati designed schools, the teachings that taught us to forget and deny the Earth's true history, this will up-level us. When we look into the matter of the fall of Atlantis, whether on a geological level or a historical level or a self-love shamanic level, we begin to realize that we already have been drinking the purple Kool-Aid, and that Kool-Aid was given to us by our governments, our schools, our medias, our psychologists, and even our religions, often built on top of sacred sites of earlier megalithic Atlantean structures. And it's time to heal this and wake up and smell the coffee. So, folks, only then can we recall our soul's energy from the severe pain and trauma that's frozen and transmute it back into wholeness, power, pleasure, and true order, not being ruled by the new order, suppressing all this stuff. So I personally believe that this full moon will be a great time to go inward, to do past life regression work on your lifetimes in Atlantis, and to do some kind of karma clearing work on this. You and your beloved cannot fully unite in the flesh, and certainly not on the soul level, if there is a part of our souls that are stuck in the past of this massive collective trauma. You old souls out there, you know who I'm talking to. You know who you are. You know why you've come here to do this deep work, to undo the trauma, the imbalances on the planet, and reclaim the DNA codes of love and light so humanity can thrive again, versus getting stuck in seemingly endless systems of suppression and slavery. One of the epicenters of the cataclysm was North and South America. So if you're living there in the States, hi guys, that's where we're from, you may want to do a prayer for healing this land, South America as well, Central America as well, and just tune into a vision of the Garden of Eden and start clearing that Tower card energy. So I've recently channeled that the floods of Atlantis represent the rape of the divine feminine Mother Earth, and that the fires of Atlantis represented the suppressed rage of the masculine, divine masculine sun. So together we can unite them as one, and we twin flame individuals and couples can do this healing work on ourselves first. As above, so below. What we hold in the Akashic Records memory manifests here on Earth in the 3 dimension. To avoid a future repetition of the cataclysm, we need to stop and step into our sovereignty and heal our trauma, even if it's really intense old stuff. So I know this sounds kind of intense, kind of heavy, but the beautiful thing is we can do the work, we can heal. And actually the way that I manifested my twin flame is I did go into my past lives in Atlantis. I cleared this out, and actually the day that he proposed, the night before he proposed, I had a dream about us going through the floods of Atlantis. We ascended, and we both had these like matching tattoos on our arms, and I was like, why am I dreaming about the floods of Atlantis? But then when he proposed, he gave me this wedding ring, and it looked like the tattoos on our arms, a symbol of a rose and these 2 other sacred symbols that maybe I'll share about another time. Long story short, ladies and gents, this is the time to heal the old stuff, step into the present, use it as fodder for alchemy, and create a positive new future.
And definitely check out the interview with Graham Hancock. There's many interviews with him with Joe Rogan. Just search for that on YouTube. We just watched all 3 to 5 hours of multiple interviews with him, and it was really amazing.
And with Randall Carlson as well.
Yeah, Randall Carlson. Last chance, if you'd like to download the 22 Twin Flame Signs of Reunion checklist, you can do that by clicking in the link below in the description box. And I think you'll get a lot out of it. Plus, you'll get an opportunity to read Amanda's amazing Twin Flame PDF guidebook called The Twin Flame Attraction Guide for Women, How to Call in Your Beloved in 6 months or less, where she shares the 7 surefire ways to manifest your twin flame. So check that out. Always remember, you are worth having all of your heart's desires in this life. All that's required is for you to receive what it is you're wanting. Repeat after me if you're ready to claim and affirm the love that is your birthright. I am ready for real love. I am good enough for real love. I deserve someone who's emotionally available. I am worthy of my twin flame. I am love.
Woohoo!
We love you all. Thanks so much for watching.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namasko from Malaysia.